Really talking about himself. So give her a round of applause.
People who deflect.
Thank you, thank you. God bless you. Let's again have a round of applause for End Time Harvest Ministries, brothers and sisters. Blessed good evening, everyone. Blessed good evening, everyone. That's right. I think it's a high honor and privilege to be here as a guest of End Time Harvest Ministries. It is one thing to have an idea, one thing to have a vision, and another to, by relentless effort, to manifest that vision into reality. Let's hear it for Reverend Addison, who hasn't done that. See, we got a police in here. We shouldn't be afraid to hear the service. And a lot of young people don't understand that it's not enough to be critical of the police. It's not enough for us to be critical of the young people. But each and every one of us must obligate ourselves in doing is to understand that service, repeat after me, class, service is to rent, we pay, or space, and mothership, earth. And give yourself a round of applause for understanding that. It's service principle. Now, before you serve anyone, you have to be learning. Before you serve anyone, you have to be engaged in studious effort. Let me give you an example. Will you go to a neurosurgeon to cut on your brain to take out a tumor if you've not gone to medical school? No. I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty.
No.
No. Will you go to a lawyer to try your case who not graduated from law school?
No.
Absolutely. I see my friend Perry Taylor in here. I bet you he went to law school. That's why he's a good prosecutor, keeping us safe. So serving others requires you to dedicate yourself by engaging the requisite discipline so that you acquire the requisite skill so you can serve someone in law, in medicine, in electrical engineering, as a teacher, as a mathematician, as a counselor. You can't counsel anyone if you not take the opportunity to learn. We have a lot of brothers and sisters here from our beloved Hispanic community. If you want to help a young person who is Hispanic, who speaks Spanish, to learn English, you have to study. And so the focus this evening is to look at service and discipline. I want to say a few things about myself. I don't have any here left, although I pretend that I do. But I came to the country when I was about 27 years old. I came from a little English-speaking island in the Caribbean called Dominica. Not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, which is a much bigger place. They speak Spanish. And my father had been a servant in many ways. First, he was a soldier in the British Army in World War II. And after that, he was a police officer. And for 30 years, he served as a firefighter. And this is what he taught us as children. He said, because he was a public servant, he said, don't drink, don't smoke, don't follow bad companions, and be home by 6 o'clock. Now I come home a little later than that nowadays. But what was he trying to say to us? First of all, if you smoke, you waste your money. For those who are smokers here, I'm sorry, I apologize. You burn a hole in your lungs. For those who know biology, you destroy the cilia, which is that lining within the lungs that expels that which is not acceptable to good lung health. We talk about mental health here and wellness. So he said, don't smoke. He said, don't drink. You know, in the islands, there's something called rum. Anybody ever heard of rum? Well, you know, if you fall in love with rum, rum will never fall in love with you. He'll kill you. He'll burn a hole in your liver. So he said to us, don't do it. And now we've got the police in here. I'm sure they will understand and will not their heads. He said, don't follow bad companions. What did he mean by that? As a trial lawyer, I can tell you that 90% plus of the cases of people I have to handle in my office derive from their association with bad companions. You've got to know, graduates of End Time Harvest Ministries, who you are associated with. Repeat after me. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Amen. Birds of a feather flock together. And so that was his admonition to us, his stern advice to us. Service can only proceed in an orderly fashion where one has embraced the requisite discipline to be a good servant. You can't be a good servant if you're an emergency room doctor and you're supposed to be at 9 p.m. and you're strolling in at 11 p.m. and you have folks who are broken up, bleeding, head open, chest cavity exposed, waiting on you. Is that a good emergency room surgeon, folks? No. So you got to have the requisite discipline. Somewhere I read that to serve, one has to be a person of character. What does that mean? Well, a person of character is a person who does not lie, cheat, or steal. A person of character is someone who has empathy for others. A person of character is someone who is exemplary in their home and in their community. So I want you to repeat after me, folks. I love my family. I will do nothing to disrespect the noble values of my family. I love my community. I will do all I can to work, to help build and prosper my community. A few weeks ago, the county executive had occasion to declare a youth emergency. She had to do that because some young people had gotten out of character, the character that's required to build a beloved community, and they'd gone to National Harbor. How many people have been to National Harbor? Most of us have been. And we go to National Harbor because there are bright lights, there are good restaurants, it's an attractive place, it's on the water, there's a big Ferris wheel, is that what you call it, officer? It's very nice. Now, the folks who are at National Harbor, who own businesses, they've invested in those businesses. They put a lot of money. And they want to make sure that the businesses they have thrive. Now, if you are at your house or your home or wherever, and you look at the television, you look at the news, and you see that folks are cutting up in National Harbor, are you going to go down to National Harbor? No. So we have to appreciate that each and every one of us, according to our station in life, each and every one of us have an absolute obligation when we go out in society to represent the best of our families, represent the best of our communities. And that's where we have to really acknowledge Reverend Addison. I'll tell you a story about this fine lady, this visionary. I've never met her before. She came to my office. You know what she did? She put me in class. She didn't put me in special, but she put me in class. She said, "Counselor, get us straight." So I got us straight. She said, "Counselor, get yourself a paperclip." Well, I got a paperclip. Now I'm saying to myself, what is this? Is this mathematics, physics, can't be chemistry? And she said, "Hold the string up and fix to the string that paperclip until it's absolutely still." And I did that. And then she said to me, "Focus on that paperclip and and tell that paperclip without speaking, move from left to right. I said, "Oh, this is kind of getting a little weird." And I did exactly as I was instructed. Lo and behold, the paperclip started to move. Now, I'm not sure whether it moved because I said move, or whether my hands began to, And she used that exercise to make the point that I'm going to try to evoke, explain, and put forth to you this evening. My wife is over there. Wife, put your hand up. Say hello to my wife. The wind beneath my wings. I could come home before midnight. My wife has a way of saying that energy flows where the focus goes. Repeat after me. Energy flows where the focus goes. So the value to that principle is, if you are focused on basketball and you play it relentlessly and you throw that ball, you dunk that ball, you do the jump shot, what's going to happen to your basketball game? You're going to get better and better and better. Michael Jordan supposedly said he threw sometime in 1, 2, 3 months 5,000 shots. So if we then, and I think that was the principle of the focus exercise you engaged me in, if we focus on things that are beneficial, if we put into our mind noble ideas, if we put into our hearts and evoke through our spiritual connectivity with other human beings, love, empathy, service, based on discipline, so too we can build the beloved community. Let's hear it, folks, for the beloved community. And so, we spend a lot of time, not with officers and prosecutors in the courthouse, but we spend a lot of time with the Tuskegee Airmen, serving. Voluntary service. Voluntary service means you don't get paid. Lawyers call it pro bono. We do appreciate that. And the plan is to get more folks from underserved communities, folks who are Hispanic, folks who are African American, folks who are white or Asian, who may not have the resources, because we believe in a nation that is comprised of different persons, different ethnic origins working together. In some societies where there's a failure of that principle, the societies are not livable. So we love a society that is rooted in the principle of Dr. Martin Luther King, rooted in the principle of Abraham Lincoln, and all the other greats who believe that America was best, our society is best when we can all work together. So that's what we do with all time. And so when I joined the Tuskegee Airmen about 14 years ago, I met a gentleman called Charles McGee. Charles McGee had the best record of an American fighter pilot in history. He died at 101 and was flying jets at 100 years old. Charles McGee, just died. And he taught us the 4 Ps. I want you, those of you who are graduating and those of you who are already graduated, can always learn a few new things. 4 Ps. First P, repeat after me, perceive. Perceive. He says, when you get out in the morning, perceive your environment. Perceive the opportunities that are there to serve. Learn what is in your immediate surroundings. Have situational awareness. Perceive. And then he said, the second P. When you perceive, then you see what the needs are in your community, the needs in your home, the needs in your school, then you prepare. Repeat after me. Prepare.
Prepare.
That means you go to school. You stay in school. You study hard. You abide a degree of discipline and effort. You prepare. Now, when you prepare and you graduate from school, be it high school, vocational school, or college, then you have to do the third P. Repeat after me. Perform. Perform. Perform means that you have to then use those skills that you've acquired, that you've assimilated, and you have to then put those skills to work in building your families, building your communities, and building your country. Because if you have skill, if you're prepared, if you're a layabout, you're hanging out, you're doing dope, you're doing, I don't want to focus on the wrong too much, you're doing stuff that makes you fly on an airplane. You see, you only fly when you have an airplane. Repeat after me. No, please don't. You should only be in the air when you're out in fact in an airplane. Don't do the other stuff that causes you to fly to nowhere. So you've got to perform. And the fourth and final P, folks, persevere. Repeat after me. Persevere. 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 Persevere simply means that in life you're going to face a lot of challenges. You're going to run into obstacles. The lady who, the friend who was not a real friend, the employer who maybe misunderstood you, the person who maybe flipped you the finger in traffic, don't you pull a garnish at them. Let them go. They're the fools, you're not. So we have to be able to have that resilience of character that when the challenges come, there's a way that used to be said when I was growing up. When the tough times come, the tough folk keep going or get going. So those are the 4 P's of success. And so I think at the end of the day, End Time Harvest Ministries, its employees, its staff, the parents who are here. Let's hear it from the parents, brothers and sisters. Because it takes an enlightened parent who perceives, who's prepared, who performs, who understands what it is to persevere to allow their child, son or daughter, to be in this program. They understand it's important to have a young one who knows what it is to serve, who knows what it is to be disciplined. And so I say to all of you who are parents, God bless you. To those who are in law enforcement, those who are just ordinary good citizens, keep on being good citizens. The hallmark of good citizenship means being concerned about others in society other than yourself. The importance of good citizenship means that you're concerned about service, you're concerned about community, and your leaders in your homes, your leaders in the community. There's a young lady over here who sits at our table. I'm not sure why Reverend Adams was sent her here to sit at our table, but she said to me she was interested in law. I said, really? She says, yes. I said, I know a few lawyers myself. And then I said, what do you plan to do? She says, I plan to have an internship at a law firm in Bowie. I said, Bowie? I know a few lawyers in Bowie. She said, what do you do? I said, I'm a lawyer. She said, I'm maybe come to your office. Give her a round of applause. This time, now, I'm going to close with this. I don't want you to run me out of this place, but I just want to say what a blessing it is to be here. What a blessing it is to be among parents who understand the importance of service. What a blessing it is to be with Reverend Addison, who had a vision more than almost 30 years ago. And through relentless effort, through love, unselfish love, despite the vicissitudes of life and all the challenges it brings, she perceived the need in our community. And when she perceived the need in our community to straighten out our young people, and not just criticize them, but to hold them by the hand and to work with them, she prepared. And what she prepared was End Time Harvest Ministries. Let's hear it from End Time Harvest Ministries, brothers and sisters. So she perceived, she prepared, and now you're seeing the results of her performance. Let's give it up for those who performed and graduated this year. And finally, brothers and sisters, dear beloved, to all of you I say, yes, as I know and as your parents know, when you go out there, it's not going to be easy. There are going to be people who will doubt you. There are going to be people who are going to try to cheat you. There are going to be people who will try to oppose you. Do not forget the good lessons that you learned at End Time Harvest Ministries of when you are challenged, when you have a burden. Don't think of suicide. Don't think of hitting the bottle. Don't think of doing dope. Don't think of lashing out. Go back into that spiritual reservoir of good that you were taught and extract from it the coping mechanisms that are necessary to allow you to succeed in life. And so, I leave this place with one thought. We're in a very difficult world. It's a world that's brimming with threat. But right here, at this moment, in this time, each and every one of us can commit ourselves to the proposition that Dr. King did a long time ago. As Abe Lincoln did a long time ago. I wasn't there, but I was told that he did. They were all committed to building a better world. And so, brothers and sisters, let's go out there and through service and discipline, let's build a better world. God bless you. Thank you very much. Now that means I'm going to have to learn to be disciplined before the plan.